me ask you this, dude. Let me ask you this. Doesn't 10 o'clock seem awfully early, bro, for a volleyball game?
It's too early. And John Cook's was not happy about it in his press conference either. But ESPNU, they had to get it on television, I guess. So,
but why couldn't? My thing is this, to John's Coach Cook's point. Why couldn't you just switch it up and do it in 2 days?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't understand it either.
I don't understand that. It's like
but budget cuts.
Yeah, it must be. And then you think about the Oregon fans. For them, that's 8 o'clock in the morning for their fan base. Yeah. So we're tripping about 10. That's 8 a.m. for their fan base.
True that.
So I don't know. I was not a fan. I seen that. I was like, why in the world? At 10 o'clock. Now, granted, you play when you play, but I can see both of them just saying this is ridiculous. But you know what, though? What more do you expect from NCAA?
Yeah. Well, I was talking yesterday. Women's basketball, the way they've been hosed, like out in Las Vegas, playing those tournaments.
Yep.
And they're going out there thinking they're going to be playing in like the Mandalay Bay Arena. And then they put them in the convention centers. They have a tournament coming up at Christmas, and 3 of the teams said, no, we're not doing it. It's like, have an arena for us or else we're not.
And why couldn't you do that?
Yeah.
But I think it goes again to how they treat women's sports compared to men's sports. You think about the NCAA tournament 2 years ago. The women's weight room, I have more weights in my garage during COVID than what they had. And that was despicable what they did to them. And the reason why they improved it because they were called out on social media about
it.
But I just thought that was Bush League of how they had them playing at 10 o'clock this morning. You still got to show them play, though. It is what it is, and they're going to.
And they'll be ready.
You still got to show them play.
And then I guess you got to turn it into make it advantageous. So I would assume that Louisville plays later tonight, or do they play right after?
I would assume that they play later this afternoon.
Because I'm assuming they're going to want the crowd there.
Let me see. When is that?
Louisville volleyball.
Let me see.
It's just going to take a second while we
got to find Louisville. Let me see. I got it right here. Okay, here's the schedule. So Oregon, Nebraska, and then Louisville plays at 3 o'clock Eastern time.
3. Yep,
3 o'clock.
So
is that right?
So it says here Louisville versus Baylor, 30 minutes following Nebraska, Oregon.
Yeah. I'm just.
So it's just right after.
Yeah, that 10 o'clock mess is crazy, man. It's crazy,
and it's got to play havoc. Not all volleyball fans are like Nebraska volleyball fans, so it's got to play havoc with their attendance and the crowd that
Rico was telling me that it's something to do with, and maybe Rico will come in here and tell me how I'm wrong, which is fine. Something to do with TV networks, and they want to put all of the Sweet 16 games on ESPNU, like this round of games on ESPNU, and then it's like the Final Four matchups are ESPN, and then the national championship matches on ESPN2. So it's like they're switching the networks, which the national championship is always on ESPN2, but it's weird how all the first round game or matches were on ESPN Plus, then it's ESPNU, then it's ESPN, and then ESPN2. It's just interesting.
It's about money, man. It's about money.
It is.
Cash money.
Nyla, there's no dog visitors today.
Today.
No Louis today. Louis, I spoke yesterday for a company here in town at Wilderness Ridge, so I spoke for them, so I had to dip out a little bit early. But Louis came in. Okay, Raff, I didn't tell you guys it's on the air yesterday.
Uh-oh.
Did he stink it up?
Dude, he dang near peeled the paint off of my home office yesterday. And then looked at me like, is there a problem here?
I know the feeling,
you don't
Louis.
Smell that, right?
I mean, he puts out those dopers that are just deadly. And he was just, I was on the air and I'm talking to you guys and I'm thinking, we got to go to break. Because they started just seeping and my whole office was just engulfed in a funk that would not leave, man. And
that's why AD left us at 8:51.
Yeah. I was like, I'm out,
He's
man.
Like, I got.
We're like looking at each other. I thought he was staying till 9. Gotta go.
I had to raise the windows in my office, and he was sitting there sleeping, going, just snoring. I'm like, dude, you can't be doing that on air, man. My man was popping air on the air. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that ain't right, man.
AD never wants to bring Louis into the station.
Oh, heck no. Him and Raff together?
Oh, that's true.
Can you imagine that concoction?
So we just got to figure out. We just got to figure out when Raff's not going to be here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So then I don't get to see Lewis. That's not
true.
right.
There it is.
You know, Nyla, he is a Frenchie. Yeah, he's a Frenchie. Kind of the story behind here's how I got my dog, Louis, man.
Yeah,
past 2 years were probably the two hardest. Well, past 10 years, man, have been the hardest 10 years of my life, hardest decade of my life. So my old dog, Samson, God bless his little soul. He was a bulldog, a miniature English bulldog, and he was 12 years old when he passed away last September. And we could let Samson out, no collar. I mean, we have a collar on, but no leash.
Yeah.
He would not lead. We have a corner on the corner. So other dogs be walking by, and he just look at him like, really?
Yeah.
Is that necessary? He wouldn't go anywhere. He would go in our yard, use bathroom. He would just walk around the premises, not go anywhere, chilling. Other dogs would be going crazy. One dog I'll never forget, about 3 years ago, is on this leash, and Sammy's laying in the front yard. I mean, the driveway, because he loved the sun. It's just summertime. So he's laying in the driveway, just sitting there. And this lady's trying to hold her dog. I'm just watching from the window. I'm dying laughing. This dog is trying to get off the car. Just Sammy is just sitting there laying there in the ground, still just looking at him with his head to the side. And Samson's eyes were always bloodshot. It looked like he drank scotch all day long. And he would go, and he would never go anywhere. So Samson passes away in September of last year. Okay, and I'm like, man, my dog. And the kids were about to move out. Well, both of the boys were already out. Naya still has some time left in the house because she didn't graduate until obviously this past spring. And I wasn't thinking about another dog because I'm thinking, okay,
but this story gets weird.
Yeah,
like crazy.
It really does. So I'm not thinking about another dog at this point.
Not at all.
No, I'm not even thinking nothing about a dog. I mean, because I'm thinking I'm traveling too much. This is way before the radio stuff. Didn't even know you yet. So I'm thinking, there's no dog action happening here. Naya's gonna be gone all the time, gone. Anyway, so about
during the radio, right as the radio was beginning.
Yeah, it was right. It was. No, what were we doing?
Because we were driving to the station that night when you told me about your dream.
That's right. It was in January because I got the dog in February. So it's in January.
AD had a dream.
Dude, I woke up, had a dream. Now, Raff knows the whole time that my family was planning on getting me a dog.
But the kicker is, when he tells me about this dream, is the night that they had told me that they were getting AD the dog.
Dude, I had no clue whatsoever.
So this is nuts. So we're driving to the studio.
Yeah.
And AD's like, Raff, I had a really weird dream last night. I'm like, oh, you did? Well, tell me more. No, Raff, not that. Okay, my bad. So AD's like, I had a dream last night that I got a French bulldog, and his name was Cassius. And I'm like, and mind you, just 15 minutes earlier, Brooke's sitting in the kitchen. AD's getting ready to go to the studio. So he's up getting ready. And Brooke's like, Raff, don't tell AD anything, but we're getting him a French bulldog for his birthday. And I'm like, so meanwhile, we're driving to the studio and he's telling me about this dream.
That is wild.
And I'm sitting there going, huh? I'm like, and I'm sitting there going, does he know what's going on right now? And seriously, 15 minutes earlier, Brooker T is what I affectionately call her. Brooker T's like, we're getting AD a Frenchie for his birthday. Oh my God, this is like, and then there's AD. And I had this dream. It's a French bulldog. His name is Cassius. I'm like,
that is so
it
wild.
Was nuts. The same exact night.
Hey, but you know what, man? But there's a God that'll give you dreams. I had a dream that I had a dog, and his name was Cassius, as in Cassius Clay. It was even a brown dog, and we know Muhammad Ali, but if Mama called him Clay, was brown as well.
But then you named him Louis?
Yeah.
Well, it was a family vote, so
Louis Armstrong.
Okay. But you will notice that his middle name is Cassius.
It's Cassius.
Louis.
Dude,
Cassius.
it was the craziest freaking thing, man, because we're up at Capitol, and I'm like, I'm ready to go home. So I'm calling home. Raff's like, no, you can't go home yet. I'm like, what you talking about? I'm a grown man. What you mean I can't go home yet? And I was like, no, I'm ready to go home. He's like, no, you can't. Let's have another one. I'm like, no, I'm ready to go home, So he's delaying. I'm still have no thoughts, nothing what's going on, And I thought about the dream, told Raff dream. It was a crazy dream. We dream crazy stuff all the time. No problem.
It's over.
So we're going home and finally allowed to come home. And then the boys, so they drove up to Center, Nebraska. I think it's Nebraska land pit and bullies or something like that.
Up north.
Up north. And they went up there. And here's the other part of it. I caught my daughter lying.
Oh, yeah, she went the wrong way, or
because I notice a lot of stuff, man. You got a daughter, you start noticing a lot of stuff. I'm like, something ain't right. You know what I'm saying? Something ain't right. Because she was saying to me, she's going, yeah, Dad. She was leaving school late for some reason. Okay, and I was working from home. I was still working from home.
Yeah.
And so, and I had my downtown office time, and I didn't go to my downtown office. I was like, oh, she goes, I'm going to go ahead before I go to school. I'm going to head to the Super C and grab something to drink. I'm like, that's cool. So, I'm drinking my coffee, and I see, our bay window. I'm thinking. She went to Southeast when she was in high school. I'm like, why would she go over there and there's a gas station right across the street from Southeast? Southwest. I'm sorry, Southwest.
Let's go, Knights.
Yeah. So I'm watching her go the opposite direction. I'm thinking, yeah, something. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna let it ride, but we're gonna talk tonight. I'm like, I'm gonna let it ride.
Oh no.
I'm gonna let it ride. I'm gonna let it ride. And then she turned off. We had this thing called 360.
Yeah.
I could see where she's going. All of a sudden that went off. I'm thinking, all right. And that was later in the day. I noticed it. I'm like, okay. I see she's got some explaining to do. Another thing I noticed, man, there's a lot of things that weren't adding up. There were some chunks of money being gone from my joint account.
Brooker T.
And I mean chunks of cash that were gone. I'm thinking, and see, I know what's going on, you know.
Yeah.
So Sunday we used to do financial meetings. So I'm thinking, okay, what's going on here? So this was on a Friday night. I was trying to go home. So Raff finally, let's go to my crib. We got some food, whatever. So I get to the house. They're like, Dad, I'm sitting in my chair. They're like, you just got to sit in your chair. Your birthday gift finally arrived. So I'm thinking like it's gonna be like a family portrait.
Oh, I was telling you it was like coming from Italy, and it was
Raff said it was coming from Italy.
Fragile.
Yeah, when he said Italy, I'm like, maybe this is where my money's going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because these are some chunks of cash that are going, you know. And I'm checking this, and he was like, man, it may have came from overseas. I'm thinking, yeah. Then I'm thinking, no, somebody got some explaining to do, man. You know. So I sit down, and then the kids come in, and Brooke starts playing this song by Louis Armstrong. It's so wonderful, you know, Louis Armstrong. So I'm like, okay, this is cool. Like maybe it's a Louis Vuitton painting or something. I don't know, you know. So they come in here, they come up upstairs, and there's a box. And I'm thinking this is an odd shaped box for a painting. You know what I'm saying? Open it up. There's little Louis sitting inside. So Nyla fans, that's the story of Louis.
That is wild.
It was a crazy dream, man. But that's my dog, man. He's 30 pounds. He looks like a bulldog. If you're on Instagram, if you're an Instagram person, I don't ever ask you guys to go on there, but if you want to check out Louis, he's got his own page even, Louis the Frenchie. But if you go to mine, it's Aaron Davis Attitude Expert, you'll see big Louis. He looks like a fullback, and when he runs, man, he can get through the hole. If not, he's gonna make one.
Yeah. And if you want Louis pictures, I'll take them and I'll post them on Twitter. Chris Raff 7, baby. I'm not afraid to use Louis.
No,
I just came across actually the picture that AD sent us a couple days ago where it was like, Louis ain't making it through the Sunday night football game.
No, he wasn't. It's his eyes.
I was like, he's trying.
He's trying. He had one eye open. He was just going,
The land of Louis.
He missed a hell of a game too, man.
Yeah. Louis.
Folks, we're going to pay some bills. There were 2 basketball games last night, and I want to get into those too. The women took care of business. The men had a tough go there in Hoosier country. But we'll be back here on the Drive with AD and Raff.